State lawmakers take up again on Monday after a Friday recess. Things are moving fast. The newly elected state representative from Santa Fe has introduced a bill that could take the surprise out of an oil and gas developer showing up ready to drill on someone's property. Brian Egolf is on the line. Tell us about your bill.
It's called the Free Market and Energy Restoration Act. And what it says is that if there's a situation where the surface and the minerals for a parcel of property are owned by different people, before an oil and gas lease can be signed between the mineral owner and an oil company, the oil company is required to contact the surface owner and tell the surface owner who owns the minerals underneath their property. Then it requires the oil company to wait 30 days before a lease can be signed. And during those 30 days, a surface owner, if the surface owner chooses to do so, may contact the mineral owner and attempt to either purchase the minerals, which would then give the surface owner control over the surface and the minerals, or the surface owner can attempt to just make a better deal with the mineral owner than an oil company would. If either of those can happen, then what we've done is put the surface owner back in control of what happens on his or her property. And this is really in response to many hundreds of people in the Galisteo Basin who expressed extreme surprise and disappointment, verging on outrage, that without a change to the law like I'm proposing, they don't know that the minerals underneath their property are subject to development and have been leased until the lease has been signed, at which point they basically cannot do anything to stop oil and gas exploration and production activities on their property. So this is one step toward putting the surface owner back in charge of what happens on their property.
Now, typically the developer will lease the rights. Is that correct?
That's right.
From the owner, and the owner retains the ownership, and so the landowner can get in touch with the real owner. It's rare, isn't it, that the developer will actually buy the rights?
It is. It almost never happens. And so the reason I called it, the reason I refer to the free market in the title of the bill is because right now there really is no way for a surface owner to purchase the minerals underneath the surface and unify control of the entire surface and minerals in unify control in the hands of the surface owner. And the reason it's virtually impossible is the ownership of the minerals is typically not recorded with the county clerk and is typically not public information. So if you live out in Galisteo and want to find out who owns the minerals underneath your surface, there's really no way to do it. And the only way, and so if those minerals are targeted for development, you don't know until the lease has already been signed and it's too late. So this bill will tell you who owns the minerals and how to get in touch with the mineral owner before a lease is signed, and really gives the surface owner an opportunity to get in the mix, so to speak, and try and control the destiny of the surface of their property.
You'll have support for your bill, I'm sure. You'll have opposition too, quite obviously. What would be a stated reason one would oppose this bill?
Well, I've already gotten the full treatment from some of the folks who are in opposition to the bill, and they're saying that it is going to be an unreasonable delay, because the way the bill is structured is the oil company notifies the surface owner and has to wait 30 days before signing a lease. And so the claim from the oil company side is that it is an unreasonable delay, which in my view is a false claim. I cannot imagine how 30 days could be an unreasonable delay. I've got a fair bit of experience with this industry, having really sort of grown up in a family that was involved in the oil and gas business for quite a long time. And I can say that based on my experience, having grown up around this industry, that 30 days is almost never going to be an issue. The other point that opponents make, so far anyway, is that it's too cumbersome and too difficult for the oil company to send a letter to the surface owner, and that problems could arise if the minerals are owned by more than one person or by more than one company. Those are really, again, false or diversionary claims. I think that the most important thing to keep in mind here is this bill is good not only for the surface owner, it's also good for the mineral owner, because the mineral owner is going to get an offer from the oil company to lease the rights for oil and gas development. The mineral owner can then take that offer, hold on to it, and wait to be contacted by the surface owner and try and make a better deal. And it could end up that the mineral owner gets a better deal from the surface owner, and they're both happy, and the only one who's maybe not happy is the oil company that was seeking to develop this property. It's something that I think needs to happen so that the two owners can get the best benefit for both of them.
State Representative Brian Egolf of Santa Fe.